Woo!
Yeah.
I'm starting it, come on, Fernando. Come on,
So again, I want to thank Tamara from Home Watch Caregivers for sponsoring this morning, and thanks everyone for coming out. My name is Jennifer Glass with Credit Cards NJ. Basically, we get you paid, but you'll find out a lot more. So, I like to start out with a quote from the marketing director from Authorize.net that he gave in April of 2006. It really explains why, for people who are trying to get payment services, things along those lines, you can't go to somebody, just anybody out there that's selling it if they don't have the experience. I mean, this is, Authorize.net is one of the best well-known gateways in the processing industry, and he's saying that when people come into the industry, they need 6 to 9 months before they're even able to really be semi-up to speed. And the truth is that since April of 2006, things have gotten a lot more complicated in the industry rather than easier. So there's a lot more that's going on. And when it comes down to it, you need a lot more than just 6 to 9 months in the industry. Our mission statement, basically, we're just trying to provide an easy and secure way for customers to be able to accept credit and debit cards in addition to other forms of electronic payments, which is what's going to allow them to be able to succeed in their business. In terms of the products that we have today, regular merchant accounts, ACH programs, checks, ATM machines, gift and loyalty cards, cash advances, equipment including mobile processing, etc. All of our solutions are PCI Level 1 and Level 2 certified. Excuse me. PCI is a requirement of every business. It's a mandate by the payment card industry, PCI, that every business follow minimum safety and security positions. You have to know, simple things like don't write down credit card numbers and hold it in your office. Don't process credit cards over an insecure connection. Things along those lines. Don't leave numbers lying around where just anybody can pick them up, because if you do, you're liable if there's any data breach. Data breaches can get expensive. They can be as much as $250,000 in a fine, plus $5 per card that has to get reissued. So if you're accepting credit cards or not, just know if you're personally responsible for that hack, $250,000 fine can be levied against you by Visa and MasterCard just for that violation.
Jennifer, just a quick question. On the phone, so how do you make sure your phone is secure when you're swiping it on?
When you're swiping on the phone, you're going over the cellular data network, so that's going to be secure because it's not open in terms of an encryption. But a lot of people have VoIP in their offices, right? A lot of people are using dial-up terminals still, believe it or not. Those dial-up terminals that they're using, when they're using the VoIP is sending it over a digital connection. Everything is transformed into ones and zeros, and the information that gets passed through is actually going through in an insecure fashion because it's on open line, as opposed to traditional telecom where there is that closed connection from the phone company. So that's something to keep in mind.
Sorry, Jennifer, what you said ACH
Yes.
program, what's that stand for?
It's the Automated Clearinghouse.
Oh.
I'll be touching on that later on.
Okay,
Just, yeah,
Sure.
expediency. In terms of a couple of things that get thrown out there when somebody's talking about credit card processing merchant accounts, you have qualified, mid-qualified, non-qualified transactions. Nobody understands that outside of the industry, which is why everyone has to explain it. Qualified is when you swipe a card, mid-qualified is keyed in, non-qualified are when it's a business card, government card, outside the United States, transactions that don't fit into the other categories, rewards and point-based transactions. You have a rewards card in your wallet, you use that, the business pays more for that. Used to be the banks did, now the business does. Debit and check card transactions, there was an amendment made to the Federal Reserve program in July of 2010, which limited the amount of money that banks are allowed to charge on debit cards. That's why they push a lot more for the signature-based debit instead of the PIN-based debit like they used to. for anything that they do. Interchange, Visa, MasterCard, Discover have published rates that are out there in the industry. Everybody, whether you're Walmart or you're the guy on the corner, everybody is paying something off of interchange. It's just up to the sales organization that sells the account in terms of margin. PCI and regulatory fees, I discussed PCI earlier. Regulatory fees, a couple of years ago the IRS put in the 1099-K requirements that any credit card or payment-based business or transactions have to be reported to the merchant now, and to the IRS. It used to be that it was just part of your overall business. The IRS basically said, we don't want to take a chance and lose money, so the processors, whether you're PayPal or you're somebody like us, we all have to issue those 1099-K statements. It involves regulatory issues on the back end, so there are some fees that get passed along. It's processor by processor variant though. Types of accounts, again, you can swipe, whether it's going to be on a phone swipe system, it's going to be on a retail normal credit card system, it's going to be on a POS system, which is like what they have out here. Other wireless devices, if you're keying it in, if you're taking an order over the phone, you're a Moto merchant, mail order, phone order merchant. So there's virtual terminals, and if you're online, it's an e-commerce sale using the gateways. Gateways, virtual terminals are synonymous, but that's just, again, jargon. And again, in terms of types of systems, you have your standalone machines, point of sale systems, wireless terminals, virtual terminals. Everybody tries seeing, oh, I can get it for free, I can get it for a ridiculously low price. When somebody's giving it to you away for free, you know, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Somebody's paying for it somewhere. It's either going to be in your fees, it's going to be in your monthly fees, it's going to be somewhere mixed in. A lot of businesses just want to get things for free. It's just not the case. POS solutions, in terms of like what they have out here or in better, finer dining restaurants, I should say, data's king. Facebook is worth so much money because of the amount of data that they have on their customers. When a business is able to turn around, a restaurant's able to turn around, they're able to say, hey, I know that Joan is coming into my restaurant and she's always ordering this item or that item. I'm better able to know, and when she comes in every Thursday for lunch, I know that I'm able to forecast that that sale is going to happen. It helps me also market to her in the event that she doesn't show up, because I can call her, hey, are you okay? You know, you have that kind of information on your customers. You also have information on there in terms of how your menu items are doing. You know that when somebody is out there and they're actually, a restaurant is selling fish tacos, as the example here on the screen, fish tacos, you know that fish tacos may be your cash cow, it may be your weakest item on your menu. If you're able to see all that information from your POS system, you're better able to, again, forecast inventory needs, forecast sales, and things along those lines. Another thing that our POS system is able to do is, if you have Susan and Joe, who are your wait staff, and you're able to turn around and say, hey, Susan has an average table order of $75 and Joe's only $45. Same exact restaurant, same exact kind of table setup and all that kind of stuff. Why is Susan doing so much better than Joe? We're able to go in there, we're able to see Susan is pushing the upselling the items. She's going for the top shelf liquor. She's going for whatever it may be. This kind of information you're able to then use, and you're able to then have Joe shadow Susan and see how she's doing things, so that you can boost up Joe's table value, and you're able to boost up his tips as a result also, because higher table value, higher tips. You're going to be able to get a lot of information from our system, and our system is a net cost solution. So when somebody comes in and they actually look at this, as long as you're on specific POS systems, we can sit our software right on top of that platform, and we're able to help that restaurant out. Same thing works on a retail environment. If you're a retail shop and you want to know your sales per square footage, you want to boost that, we're able to help you. You want to know what your commission salespeople are doing, just like the wait staff, we're able to help you out there in terms of that kind of system. Just let me know how we can help in that regard. ACH programs for Jay and anyone else who's interested. ACH is the automated clearinghouse. It's basically what allows a check to be converted from a paper transaction to an electronic transaction. ACH does not require any checks though. It's just you enter in the routing number, the account number. So PSE&G and a number of other companies allow you to pay via ACH, where they just debit your account. Same thing works if you're an ACH client of ours. You can also do direct deposit into your employees' bank accounts. So you're able to use that system. When you're using the ACH program, it's primarily though used as a automated debit program. It can be pre-scheduled, it can be set up in advance based on whatever your program is. Like PSE&G, you have different invoices every month in terms of your utility bill. The ACH system will allow you to do that and will allow you to set it up based on the particular bills. When you're using the scheduled debits, you're improving your operations and efficiencies. You're basically bringing in a much easier time. You don't have to worry about preparing invoices. You don't have to worry about getting all of those kinds of things out there to people. You don't have to wait until people finally send you in their checks. You're getting predictable cash flow, because if it's scheduled for the 15th of the month, you know on the 15th of the month the payment's coming in. A lot of schools love using it for tuition because you know that by the 1st, 5th, whatever day of the month, you have your tuition dollars in the door. You don't have to worry about it. So that's great for schools. It's great for organizations that need to have that predictable cash flow. ACH is also less expensive than the credit card side, so it's something that some businesses may want to look at, and it's also the risk level is more open when you're using an ACH program than you're using a credit card side. Don't ask me why. I still don't understand underwriters sometimes, but that's how it is. Checks. A lot of people are still writing checks. A lot of people, auto body shops, things along those lines, have problems with bounce checks. We even guarantee that a paper check will clear the bank. A lot of people don't know about that. It's an amazing service. If you're in a business where there are high levels of bounce checks, we're able to help that out. ATM machines, somebody that has an ATM machine in their business, you're going to be able to increase your sales by at least 8 to 12%. ATM card holders, when they go into a business, will typically spend about 30% more in a business just by having an ATM in the store, because they're able to take that cash out and then it's spent in the business. That's a great way, again, for a business to be able to boost revenue. We can either place it, or a business can purchase or lease an ATM machine. Again, depending on exactly how it gets set up would be the revenue that the business owner would be able to get off of it. But salons, things along those lines, they love having ATM machines in there because they can encourage customers, instead of actually paying by credit card, just go to the ATM machine, take out the cash, give it to me, I don't have to worry about it. You also lower your cost of cash insurance in the store, because by having an ATM, the ATM by itself is already insured. You don't need to carry additional cash insurance, so you're able to save money just by doing it that way, because you just stick the cash right into the machine and then you just keep on taking it out when customers are using it, and then you refill the machine. It's, monopoly money, only better. Gift and loyalty cards. We're all familiar with these kind of cards, right? And we all have a whole bunch of these on our keychains too, right?
Yeah.
Our programs with gift and loyalty cards, it's really amazing what it can do for a business. It used to be that people thought that only the large retailers and chains are the ones that are able to have the gift card programs in their business. Bottom line is that's simply not true. Any business that wants to have a gift and loyalty card program can. Perfect example is there's a health food store that I signed up a number of years ago up in Ramsey. Whole Foods was moving in just a couple of blocks away from where she was. Whole Foods, natural food business, there's going to be a lot of competition there in terms of the kind of business. What we were able to do is we were able to go in there with a gift and loyalty card solution. We put it in. She was able to incentivize her customers with that loyalty card program to keep coming back. 6.5 years later, she's still in business. Whole Foods is still in business. Nobody is losing anything. Her customers keep coming back. They're using the system, and everybody is happy in terms of the way that the program is working. And the expenses, when it comes down to the gift and loyalty card program, you can do gift card only, you can do loyalty card only, you can do gift and loyalty as a combined program. Expenses are based on the kind of program you want. If you want all you can eat, or you want to bucket, number of transactions in the system. That's all based when a client signs up with us. That's how it gets done. In terms of gift and loyalty cards, it generates money for merchants. Right now, it's cash in the door. Somebody walks in, holiday season right now, big time for gift cards. You're able to book the cash today. Cash flow is king. When you're able to, I use king apparently too much, but hey. When you're able to book the money today, you're able to fund future business. You don't have to worry about customers coming in the door and giving you the cash right now for the sale. You're able to book that cash, you're able to spend it, you're able to put it into inventory, payroll, whatever it is that you need to do. When you have a gift card program, you're able to do that. Other solutions for gift cards, businesses sometimes don't want to give cash back when they do a sale, but they will offer store credit. Store credit on a gift card program is actually a great way to do it, because what they're doing is they're keeping the cash in the store. They're not letting that money out, and they're able to boost the revenues that they're actually getting, because they're encouraging people to keep coming back. And again, if it's the same piece of plastic that's a loyalty card, you're incentivizing the customer to keep coming back as well. In terms of benefits, again, gift cards, small and large retailers, restaurant, franchises, everyone can benefit from a gift card program. When you have a paper gift certificate, you have to keep track of the ledgers. You have to write down that Susan came in and she made a purchase of $15 off her $25 gift certificate. Good luck trying to figure that out. There's a couple of businesses actually I know, one in Teaneck specifically that has a paper gift certificate program. You come in and you have a $25 gift certificate, they don't even want to deal with keeping track. They'll just give you the cash for what the balance is on that gift certificate. Doesn't do anything for them, because as soon as you go in, if you have a $25 gift certificate, you make a $2.50 purchase, they're losing $22.50 right there. And if you think that a business is operating on a 20, 30, 40% gross margin, how much more are they actually losing when they're doing it that way? So what you want to do is you want to encourage customers to be using gift cards instead of using paper gift certificates. Another thing that I will stress though when it comes down to gift cards, some stores, crazy as it sounds, allow customers to pay by credit card when it comes to gift card purchases. That's a big no-no if you think about it. What happens if somebody charges back that transaction when they bought a gift card? What happens when that gift card has already been fully used? The business is out the money, they're out the inventory, and who's left holding the bag? On top of that, the business that sold the gift card, also has a chargeback fee that they were assessed by the processor for the transaction that got disputed. So when it comes down to it, that $25 gift card can end up costing more like $85, $90 to the business. So you just want to do cash only when it comes down to gift cards. Loyalty cards, again, car washes, delis, restaurants, retailers, dry cleaners, anyone that depends on repeat business is a great opportunity in terms of loyalty cards. And we can do it, these programs, we can do it on one of these, we can do it any way. It's just completely up to you or the business when they want to get set up. Cash advances. Cash advances is a great program when people are said no to by the bank, when they cannot afford to do whatever they need in their business, when they need that additional capital. We're able to fund up to $250,000 in 72 hours based on the sales that a business is doing. It really depends on the kind of business, the sales they do, all things along those lines. But when it comes down to it, it's an opportunity when traditional bank loans are not an option. They can come to us. We can help them either as an ACH or as a receivable off of their credit card future sales. We're able to work with them in those regards. Fair warning though, the prices are a lot more expensive than a bank loan, which is why go to the bank first. If you can't get the loan, then you can come to us. In terms of moving forward, question is, how can I help? Everyone here knows businesses, knows people that are able to benefit from the payment system. I think I showed you some ways that you can actually boost a business's bottom line by accepting different kinds of electronic payments. Let me know if I can help you get set up, your clients need better rates or service. Make sure that when a business is operating, that they have the right mix of payment programs in their business. A lot of businesses will only accept credit cards because that's all they think that they need. But if they can implement other programs, if they want to be able to get online, they want to be able to do all sorts of different things, they need somebody who's actually got the experience to be able to do this. I've had my own business for 10 years, actually 10 and a half at this point. Been in the industry though for 13 years. I have lots of experience in this industry and lots of contacts. There's a lot of ways that we can, quote unquote, skin the cat to make the deal work for a lot of businesses. Special offer that we're offering to anybody that does sign up through us by the end of the year. We're currently offering $100 restaurant.com gift certificate or gift card program as a drawing to any merchant that signs up with us through the end of 2015. Anyone that signs up through the BNG referrals will be able to get extra entry into that drawing. And if anyone wins, we have an extra $25 Sears gift card that is available on top of that $100 restaurant.com gift card. All guests are entitled to a 15-minute free consultation to see how it may make sense to look at different payment programs in your business and to see how we can help in terms of boosting your bottom line. So with that, thank you very much, and I think I have, 5 minutes for questions now? Why did I speed through that?
Just real quick, on that ACH, can they go in and take money out of the client's accounts? Like, let's say a gym that wants to take the money automatically.
Yes.
They can do that.
Yes.
They don't have to wait for the client to pay them, but
Right.
they can go.
It's an automated, scheduled system. Basically, if you're doing a scheduled ACH program, what we recommend doing is having a form. We can even have that form, we can give it to you, and they just have their customers sign that,
Giving you authorization.
I'm giving you authorization on this day of the month to automatically go into my account, debit me for whatever the balance is, and you're able to do that.
And the business has to be credit approved also?
There is an underwriting requirement for that, but the underwriting requirements are more liberal when it comes to the ACH side than the credit card side.
About the ACH also, so you don't give them a debit card number, you give them your actual account number?
Yes.
And so there are fees that are left out that you don't need to pay because it's not a debit card or a credit card?
Correct. The ACH system is less expensive than the credit card system.
And then, so if you're talking to someone on the phone, for example, and they want to set up a payment plan for you, for
Mhm.
whatever it is that they're offering you, and you want it, and how do you know that they're doing that, if they ask for your bank account number, is that include that they're doing ACH?
Yes. E-check and ACH are synonymous in that regard, but yes.
Jen, you mentioned there's a machine that I saw that you can put the check in, someone,
Right, there's a
realize
check
how-
scanner.
the check
It'll read the
scanner.
micro information off of the check.
Mhm.
When you're, either you wanna truncate the check, you wanna verify the account,
Mhm.
or you wanna guarantee that the check will clear the bank.
Right.
So there is a machine that you can put through, or we even have a solution now on your smartphone. You just take a picture of it,
Mhm.
we'll guarantee it the same way.
Okay, that's good. Now, second thing, you might consider, Inkwood Car Wash, they have a loyalty program, get 10 car washes and get one free. But they have these little
The
paper-
punch cards.
Little punch cards, so
Yes.
you might wanna go in there and see if you can replace those.
Thank you.
Question, when you have a form with an approval form from the client, and they give you the bank number, the account number and the routing, they're keeping that form in the office. For PCI compliance, is that, do they have to destroy that? Do they have to?
What you wanna
put it in a
do,
safe?
what you wanna do is you wanna hold any kind of information that has sensitive information in a locked cabinet if you are gonna hold anything. But the key is locked, that only key people that need to have access to it are able to unlock that drawer. And you have to make sure it's locked. I mean, it can't just be a locked drawer that stays permanently open, that anybody can walk into the office and access it.
Is that true for credit card information?
Absolutely. Anything that gets written down must be stored securely, and there has to be policies in place, not just ideas. It has to be written policies in place that specifically dictate X person has access for this reason, Y person has access for that reason, and it has to be based on, that kind of information. And in the event that a key gets lost or an employee leaves and doesn't return the key, you must change the you must change that lock to prevent former people from accessing the system, and you have to update your documentation to reflect those changes.
Does that mean that if you have customer account information, you cannot store it on your hard drive?
If there's information like credit card numbers,
Yeah.
things along those lines, absolutely not, because your computer is connected to the internet. Internet is hackable, unless you have an air machine, is that what it's called? PC that's never been used?
Yeah, I mean, you can use, I mean. there's
You know what I
different-
mean,
Yeah, I
something
mean-
that's never been connected to the internet, you're able to store it, but if it's otherwise, absolutely not. And you're not supposed to be on the internet, like if you use QuickBooks and you hold information in there, like credit card data, you're not supposed to be on that same system that goes on the internet. A lot of businesses are in violation of that
Did you
one.
say that again?
Your computer that you access to go online should not hold any sensitive cardholder data, period. Same with ACH, any kind of banking information should not be stored on your computer that accesses the internet. Because at the end of the day, if your computer gets hacked, that person has access to whatever information is on your hard drive. And it doesn't matter, you may think it's encrypted, but if somebody's able to pull it, they have years to decrypt it.
Well, I have one of those computers. Never gets connected to the internet. It's-
Okay.
I lost data twice. It was just, took 2 years to recapture, and I couldn't bill my customers properly, and it was just horrible.
Mhm.
So it's like a terror, and this is never gonna get connected to the internet. But what about QuickBooks? You mentioned that. I don't use the internet version of QuickBooks. I have it, it's just a dead version on my
Right.
computer. But the new ones require that it won't even function unless you're connected to the internet.
There's a difference between being connected to the internet and being connected to a system that is storing the transactional information for QuickBooks. I have a QuickBooks plugin that will allow you to use the QuickBooks system to process credit cards, but that's being secured in terms of the way that the information is being transmitted, and the cardholder data is not actually being stored inside of QuickBooks. But if you're using QuickBooks and you're reporting card number 3236 whatever, right? That information is in the system with the expiration date, maybe the CVV code, 3-digit, 4-digit code on the card. That information is what is wanted by the hackers. They're looking for it. And there's places out in, Eastern Europe and Russia, they have buildings full of people who an entire day, they're just trying to hack whoever they can to get whatever credit card information they can, and then they sell it on the black market. It's an amazing business. It's illegal, but it's an amazing business, and the amount of money that they're able to get. But when you're dealing with having information on the computer like that, if it's insecure, it's a big no-no. That answer your question?
take it out when you're done?
No. The plugin is, Intuit is a sales office just like we are. Intuit sells credit card processing solutions to merchants through the QuickBooks program. We have a solution that will basically, instead of going through Intuit Merchant Solutions, we'll use our system instead. It's using a virtual terminal on the back end that will allow you to be able to pass the transactional information securely from point A, which is your computer, to point B, which is the gateway that is authorizing the charges, and to the processor. What you're doing in that sense when it's a plugin, it's basically, instead of going, this way, you're going that way. That's how the system knows what to do. It's a quick download, it's an easy system to use, but that's what I meant by plugin.
The key thing is that you're not storing the data, the credit card number. With that service, you're passing it on to them to do the transaction, so you never actually have the data.
Like a virtual terminal?
Yes, it's using a virtual terminal backend.
Is there a way of knowing when you, like I know for business certain showrooms when I'm making payments and I fill out a credit card form and I'm emailing it to them, is there a way that you
You never
can know
email a
someone-
credit card form. I have clients that always ask me, can I just email you information? No, because email is insecure. Unless you're using a system, and I'm gonna pick on Zixmail because I've got so many places that are using that, I've got accounts with so many of them. That's a secured, encrypted system that you're able to send information back and forth. If you're using just traditional email, you have an AOL account as an example, and you're emailing it to a business, it's insecure completely from point A to point B. Anybody that's sitting in between is able to see that. And for a merchant that accepts that, they're in violation of PCI regulations. Again, if they get hacked, they can be fined as much as $250,000 by Visa and MasterCard, plus $5 per card that gets, that has to be reissued. So it gets really expensive for something like that.
Do they have to have something else in place then? Because some of these design showrooms, that's.
Virtual
What
terminals.
about fax?
Same.
No,
Less.
A fax is more secure,
Less,
but it's not great.
Yeah, you
I
don't know
mean-
who picks up the fax on the other end.
Right.
I understand, yeah.
But I mean, having a website that you can go to, enter in your payment information, like a simple virtual terminal that's online, that would be the way to
So
go.
I need to ask them if they have a.
Or just call them up.
Well,
I
yeah,
do that, I call them up and give them
Yeah.
a credit card on the
No,
phone.
some showrooms don't do that, it has to be in writing with the amount of what they can charge.
Report. Change.
Hmm?
Report and then they'll change. It's the same
Visa
with
and
medical.
MasterCard, by the way, they do send out people all the time to make sure that businesses are following regulations. Whether
Most
it's,
of the time I'm using it like a MasterCard and American Express.
they're all the same. I mean, they're going out there. Once, by the way, anyone gets notified that they're in violation, whether it's Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, JCB, you name the card, they're all sharing it. There's an industry list that everyone is pulling from. So if you get terminated by one, everyone knows that
So
it's them only.
So I need to know if they have this virtual, that I'm sending.
Do you need to know as an individual client? It's more secure for you, and you can rest assured that your transaction is going through secure.
Right, well,
But if you're sending it to them, it's their responsibility
Right,
to be
that's what I'm
following
asking.
regulations, yes.
Right, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If
I
you get
should
hacked,
know.
it's not your.
It's not you that's gonna be paying the fine, it's them that'll be paying the fine.
But you have to go through the
But
hassle
you-
of
Yeah, I was gonna say, you.
Fixing your identity.
Yeah, you don't wanna
Yes.
give out your credit card stuff via email, basically. If they are asking you for it, just call them up.
No.
If they don't.
Know your social security number,
Yeah,
and
no,
all
that's-
account numbers.
Yeah,
or
well,
whatever.
So,
Emails all
Thank
over the
you.
world.
alright, thank you.
By the way, just because it was recorded, and we should have probably asked before, do I have okay to use everybody's image for whoever Larry actually got?
Say no.
He said
No.
Is that secure?
I have to talk to my attorney.
That's it, no.